Hello everyone, welcome back to another road to Masters. Sorry, I had a bit of a tournament spell, so I had a bit of a break from the road to Masters, but we're back. Right now, we are currently ranked 6th in North America at 1500 LP on my main accounts. I stream on Twitch. You can definitely check it out there. This one, I had a plan in mind, but you know, sometimes it doesn't always go as planned. We're going to be talking about emblems. I think this is a very popular topic actually, is how to play around emblems. The key thing for me when thinking about how to play around emblems is not trying to play around all of them. Not all of these will synergize with each other, but some of them will. And some emblems are stronger than others, just depending on the meta, right? I know Space Groove is really strong right now, so that's something to really consider. But I think there is no natural Space Groover with Brawler. Maybe there's Pantheon, who provides Replicator for Nami, but Brawler and Marauder go really, really well together. So I think that's something that I'm thinking about is those two types of options right now. Do I want to angle more Marauders, or do I want to angle more of that traditional Nami Space Groove? Yeah, so right now all we're going to do is just try to pick up units that make sense for these traits. It's going to be a lot different than, sorry, let me think here. It's going to be a lot different compared to your normal game, because you do actually have to play around these traits. So even though I had Meepsy pair and I had Meeples available, it just doesn't lead to anywhere. You do need to develop your board into some plausible mid game, and so that just means holding all these traits as much as possible. Right now we have a Briar 2, and that's something that I'll want to play around a bit more, is my 2-star unit, which kind of leads me down into Brawler and Marauder right now. In fact, like with the Jinx pair and the fact that I can Nico this makes it really attractive to me that I could just go down the AD path. The problem with going down the AD path is that I don't have any swords right now. I don't have any bows or anything, so we just have an adaptive slam. So carve a path actually solves a lot of that. And I'm really, really, really strong now. So the swords are going to be good later, and they're good quite good now rather. We don't need team building. I can already do something with that later. Band of Thieves also makes sense, but I'm always trying to be strong now if possible. Band of Thieves also could work, but I kind of like Carve a Path here in particular. Let's see. So I think we want a 3-item 1 unit as much as possible here. This is just a 2-star unit. We could have added Rogue in here instead, and I think that'd be pretty reasonable. In fact, this Jinx probably shouldn't be on the current board, so apologies about that. We didn't get to our strongest board fast enough. We should probably see if we're contested, but one thing I will say about being contested or not being contested, it doesn't actually matter that much. I think people worry so much about being contested. It's something in my coaching sessions, people always like, oh, I'm contested, that's why I can't hit. We can't hit because we're poor a lot of the time. We can't hit because we sack too much HP. It's not because of any other reason other than that, you know, we're just low HP and we don't have enough gold to hit. Sometimes it does suck. I'm not saying, hey, I want to be contested here, but it's just not as big of a deal as people think. We could swap this out, but I actually have nothing better to play right now, and I do need frontline, and he is a 2-star frontliner. So I think what we're gonna do is move over to here, move over to this side. We should probably just Space Groove Emblem, my guy. But going back to the emblems, the main thing is not to play around all our emblems. Like I said, it's to play around some of our emblems. And here we're just going down the Brawler Marauder path more so. And the Space Groove spat will just have to be a +1 at the end of the day. It will just have to be something that we don't play around. We can't play around everything in the game, right? But I will play around my Briar 2. Briar 2 with Marauder spat sounds really good. These emblems as well just have a strong effect in themselves, right? There's just a strong effect here. 20% AD plus Omnivamp, that sounds really good on Briar. And then obviously if we get the trade in, that's going to be better and better for us. We're going to get 18 more AD, so it's like a mini Deathblade for us. Yeah. Here, this makes sense as a next in. I wonder if we should jam for it now or just go like this. You know, I could see a lot of arguments for this, and then now we hide them now that we don't need the Rogue in. I could totally see that. Let's scout around, see if we need to level. You know what? I'm seeing that this is the only strong person. Everyone else is weak, and I should be able to win. So for me, I'm going to play the odds. if I play that one person, that's going to be a bit unlucky, but we could also just level, and I think that would be completely reasonable as well to guarantee that win. I just feel like paying for a 1 in 5 is not super worth it here to lose some gold, and I think I might be able to win anyway, to be totally honest. Yeah, so we'll definitely see on that part. We could pick up this Kaisa, but this is Jinx pair. I could see it. Talon 2 versus Kaisa 1. I think Talon 2 is good. 2 stars. You know, it's hard to say what is better, a 2-star 1 cost or a 1-star 3 cost. It depends on the balance. I think with the lesser Nico, maybe there's some bonus effect there. Also, we should have probably considered the God there as well. Maybe I could have guaranteed getting a Kaisa 2, which would be great with the Marauder spat. But we didn't do that. I'm going to go with random boon here. If we had a 3 cost to play around, it would be pretty good. Yeah, I think it would make a lot of sense. I think let's go for Edge of Night here. Edge of Night is really good on Yi, who's going to be my main brawler slash marauder that I play around. I'm going to put the brawler spat on him later. You don't really need to know too much, but brawler marauder, there is a comp that has brawlers and marauders in it, and that's kind of the Yi comp. So this just really, I will say, naturally fits here, more so than anything. We got the random boon. You know, thinking about my balance of frontline and backline, this one's obviously a bit better. We'll want these longer term. I'm not sure who to prosperity, if I'm being completely honest. Will this Rek'Sai stay on my board? Honestly, I could be down for it. We're going to be playing 6 brawler, I think, in my total end game, so I'm kind of down for it here. We could have Nico'd Akali as well here to be strongest board, but I kind of scouted around, didn't feel like anyone was too strong. Similarly, I don't have to slam Eon. If you don't have to slam, you should never slam, is my opinion. I want to keep these brawlers long term. They're costing me quite a bit of gold here, as is the Jinx. We might do this to make some money. Cho is hard to come by. Ooh, we found 2 more Marauders. That's really... Wonder if this becomes a lot more interesting here. I think it's slightly weaker. This would be the strongest board. I think this actually is the strongest board, but then we don't have a Marauder user. How valuable is the Nova? Let's positions for our strongest matchups here. I don't, again, think that we're that afraid. I'm just going to put this on you and you. We're probably going to keep you for a while. And definitely need to just open sell that for now, regardless. I think Cho's going to be my next in. Yeah, we missed out on the Brawler Marauder, but we're kind of need to think about our holds. If boards are equivalent, you really want to hold the direction that you want to go. And the direction that I want to go long term is more towards the brawlers and the marauders, so I definitely want to keep these on my board. We could hold everything on our bench, but if the boards are roughly equivalent, you should just play the board that has better direction. If the boards aren't equivalent, you could play your strongest board, but here I scouted around and just felt like I was the strongest between this person, and someone else who was like fairly weak. We already played this person in round 1, so I felt like I could greed it and it would be no problem to make that extra gold. If you're ready to actually start climbing, head over to tftgameplan.com. dpei's Disciples is my monthly coaching membership, and it gives you full access to my daily meta reads, weekly live Q&As, personalized feedback with unlimited spot reviews, and full access to my library of past coaching sessions, all for $15 a month. One-on-one coaching is also available if you want to improve even faster. Links are in the description below. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. On this board, but in general, you can't be holding 2 boards at once. I think that's a mistake that I often see players do, is they try to hold 2 boards at once, and that's just really hard. That's basically impossible to do. You can't hold 2 boards at once. Oops, sold the wrong thing. Here Nova makes a lot of sense. This is probably better than Cho'Gath, actually. Let's scout around and see if we need to level. I'm feeling like a level is, you know, we don't have to play perfectly. Let's say it's just such a strong level here, it just makes too much sense. We could Nico here really aggressively, and I think that would be actually totally fine. I think that would be totally fine to Nico aggressively here. You know, I'm under the opinion you don't need to play perfectly. Sometimes I try to promote perfect play and tell you guys, like, if we can scout around all that stuff, but I realize when I watch other people's VODs, they don't have time to think about that because they're thinking about their items, they're thinking about their slams, they're thinking about sometimes they're just watching a show on the side, to be honest. So if when in doubt, you should definitely just slam. We're not all the best fight judges here. In fact, like a QSS slam would have been completely reasonable here. I felt like I was fine. Personally, I felt like I was fine. But it would be actually completely reasonable to slam whatever you thought was best, and Nico whatever you thought was best here. We want to be as strong as possible now. I know this doesn't make much sense with Marauders. They don't overcharge their damage, but combat is combat, and 10% is not bad. 10% is not bad. I think people like get it twisted, but exclusive is also pretty good in our spot. I would like to save these for Last Whisper or Even Shroud if possible. So that's where I'm kind of at. Climb the Ladder also makes a bit of sense with Brawler. We're indexing heavily into Brawlers and Marauders. So I think that could make sense as well as another combat. So I'm going to go try this out. Honestly, I've never tried it. We have a huge level that we could level for, which is Rogue here. Let's take a look. I think we're okay here. If we need to, I think I'll slam QSS versus that particular player. But we don't need to slam, obviously, here. So again, I want to save for Last Whisper or Even Shroud here. And I have a 1 in 3 of playing against the really, really strong player in the lobby. But versus everyone else, I'm kind of chilling. Versus everyone else, I feel like I'm definitely chilling here. They have a much weaker board. This person's trying to lose. So for me, that's the most important thing. I'm going to hold on to some of these brawlers. Do I actually need to hold on to all these brawlers? Or can we make money here? We could make some money here. We only need Gwen 1. Holding that pair would be completely fine if you wanted to. I just feel like eventually we don't need the Cho'Gath. We could just play this one, and then Tahm Kench is totally fine to me. We obviously want to play these 2 brawlers. This one's the one I'm prosperitying for a very long time. I did make my strongest board. The key positioning thing here for me is that I think they're thinking about playing Gnar. This is a weird looking Gnar. I might need to slam QSS. Ooh, this person's very, very strong. I wonder if QSS even makes a diff here, but we're going to go ahead and try. I always believe in just trying. When in doubt, just try and see what happens. This person has a Rek'Sai 3 and a Kali 2. They're really, really strong. I didn't even see them in my pool, so definitely my bad. They also rolled Sterix, which is really, really strong. But, you know, you never know what's going to be the fight diff. It looks like this was not the fight diff. It looks so close. Oh, wow, what a fight diff. If I wanted to, I could have leveled there as well and leveled for Rogue. That would have made it not close. Bad scouting on my part, but, you know, I did slam if I thought it was going to be close, and it was close enough. It was close enough. I kind of wanted to get into a bad spot where we didn't have Shred and all that stuff. So yeah, here I'm going to take a Shred component. I think people would take swords. This one also makes an Akali 2. And also bows are really good in the, or sorry, not bows. Cloaks are really good in this column, not just for Even Shroud, but it can make QSS, it can make Kraken, it can make BT. BT is probably not the best item on Yi, but it's definitely acceptable. Cloak's just very versatile when you're playing AD, and also Declaw is good against, we still need tank items eventually, right? We've greeted our gold here all the way. What was our random boon? So we should consider keeping above 6 if possible. I'm probably not going to worry about it too much. And we should scout around. This person I thought was the strongest, but now if they triple Nico the Gnar, it's Gnar 3, I would be very scared. Here, do we want to be on the same side as the Gnar? The thing is with Briar, you do want to lose a little bit of HP. That's why putting the Eon on her is totally okay. She gains attack speed for every missing health she has, so you kind of want her to lose a little bit of HP. So in this matchup versus the Gnar, she would take a little bit of boomerang damage, which would make her attack faster. I look at how slowly we're attacking now. I know we are taking down this Karma and we did wrap, but I don't really like this version of Briar. We saw her in the very last fight. She pops off when she gets to do a lot more damage is kind of, or sorry, when she takes a lot of HP, that she can now do more damage, right? Let's consider the fact that we are Divine Intervention and don't overpump here. I think that's something I don't always do in my game, but since we're compensating and being very, very careful now. I want to talk about this person's board and like a mistake that they're making. You should always 3 item stack your main carry here. Gwynsu's is really good on Gnar, and then Marauder is just 3 20% AD items. So they should definitely move over the items as much as possible here. We dodge each other, so we both get a streak. Classic Riot Games diff, but it's almost always worth a remover if your fights are going to be close to do that. They get a lot stronger. Item stats are multiplicative. You get a lot stronger. Your first item is really good. It's really important that you get that first item, but the second item makes your carry a lot stronger. Your third item makes your carry a lot stronger after that. So always 3-item stack. As you can see, even in the early game, I immediately went to 3-item stack my Briar. These are not the best items in the game, but they're definitely still items and they give a lot of stats. This is way stronger than one item. We get the DB coming in here. Again, the main thing that we're looking for here, sorry, I have a weird planner in, Tom Kench, and Master Yi is the most important linchpin of the comp here. I think Morgana, you can never use too many tanks, although we really do want to be more into brawlers if possible. So maybe Morgana doesn't make that much sense. Going into 6 brawlers will make my Yi a Giga Beast. Hey, here's another brawler. We could definitely add that. Do I need to level? I don't think it's a ridiculous level. We can spike here. Honestly, that seems good enough to me. We have a lot of possible items to make, none of them being shred. Shojin would never make any sense here, so I think I'm gonna go Vow here and make a DB. We could wait to slam as well. That's probably the best thing, but we still need to keep our even shot open. So you need to keep your shred component open, which was the main thing I was thinking about here. We don't have our anti-heal component, so that's a downside for sure. I could have made Edge of Night as well, but I do want 3-item tank still. So we're gonna have to find our anti-heal some other way, but at least we're kind of keeping our Sunder open is the main thing for an AD comp. And if the fights are fast, it'll be really good for us if we can keep the fights a bit longer. If my main carry is a 4 cost, which I think it is Yi, we'll want to roll on 8, but here I don't really have a lot of urgency right now. I truly don't have a lot of urgency right now. Reinforcements, not that interesting, to be totally honest. We have a lot of money and we would like to cap higher with combat. I already have money because I streaked the whole game, and from Marauder Spat I got an extra however many gold, 11 gold. So we really don't want money, we want combat as much as possible. Tons of stats gives us that, but it kind of double dips into climb the ladder, so maybe durability would make sense. Lotus isn't that good for us here. If we can get a Fiora, that'd be great. If not, that's totally fine. I think we might just chill to 9. We could play this a little more standardly. I just don't know if I have enough gold to find the Yi in time. Yeah, I'm just too slow. That's why I kind of didn't want to roll, is because obviously I spent a lot of time talking about the augments themselves, which just, you know, means that the rolling is going to be inefficient, and if I'm not going to roll to improve my board, I'm kind of rolling for nothing is more or less what happened there. Yeah, I think we definitely, so far we've just like iterated our board. We haven't like hard stuck anything here. I definitely think we should be transitioning into the brawlers and getting off of Primordian. It's really risky to, or not risky, it's really bad to stay off of 4 brawler and not on our board. It's really risky to stay in 3 Primordian when we could just be streaking here by playing a stronger board. And I think that's what I want to do here, ideally. I think there's an argument to not rolling, but I want to play the game more standardly because you guys are like, hey, brawler Yi, let's hit the Yi. That's the most important thing. We're 1-off Yi. Let's definitely get after it here. I think we are going to get rid of this, get rid of the Primordian, this, and we have 5 brawler Marauder Yi here. Who can Marauder go on? That's a big problem, right? No one can actually use the Marauder itself. That's a problem because now we don't have the we don't have the actual 6 brawler buff, which would be, you know, great to have here as far as I'm concerned. I think you could roll here to 2-star Yi. I don't have like a lot of urgency. I don't want to kill my gold all the way, and it looks like we do need to go to 9 to fit the whole board in. Yeah, I think we actually might need 1 more slot if we want to go 6-6 with Fiora, right? So is there any unit that we can drop here? I don't think so. I'm looking around. I don't think there's any unit I can drop here. I would actually have to either just play 6 or 4, or we could just play 4-4 and play like drop one of these brawlers. Maybe dropping a Rek'Sai would feel really, really bad here. I'm gonna go random boot again. I have no need for the lesser Nico here, and if we when in doubt, just go for, you know, more swords don't make that much sense since Marauder gives us a ton of AD, but I don't see a better item here, unfortunately. And we want to complete an item here ideally. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to need to go 10 to go 6-6. So I'm starting to think if we even want to be on 6 at all here, if it even makes sense to be on 6 and 6 here. Doesn't make that much sense. With this, I kind of want to use the free rerolls. Graves is hard not to want to play, I will say. Marauder Graves, that sounds really good. And then you level for the Urgots. Always can cap out with Graves. I'm going to just roll till Yi to make my game a little more simple while I can sit here and talk a bit more. Okay. My bad. My bad, my bad, my bad. I just want to mostly just talk. Maybe we're contested Yi is the problem? I don't think so. We probably didn't need to roll that much, to be totally honest. We don't want to, I call it kill your game by losing too much HP here. Sorry, not by losing too much HP, by losing too much gold here, because we got a lot of rounds of TFT left to be played. This is something that Asa has taught me, actually, is, you know, we have so many more rounds left to be played since I am so high HP. You don't need to send 0 here. In fact, I should be going to 9, but I just wanted to make my game a bit easier here. We could make a power frame Graves, but I think Assault makes too much sense. Like, we all run something down together. Sounds like a group activity. I'm all down for a group activity here. And then we could level 4 this. I'm not sure where the Fiora would end up going. I guess it could fit over the Akali slot or maybe even the Belveth slot. We should have been switching this item over, sorry, to Maokai a long time ago. A long time ago. We have so many removers. We're not using any of them. But we should definitely be doing that, and we should be 3-iteming my Graves. I said that was really important, right? And that's something that I'm not doing myself, is putting 3 items on it. I'm split 2-2 between my Belveth and that, right? Whichever one I think is stronger, I should 3-item it between Belveth and the other one. It looks like we will have troubles capping out here, but I think the main thing is that we get to 2-star Graves here, and we've kept enough of our gold here. We didn't kill our game by rolling down all our gold to find the Yi. That would be really, really bad here. I think this is, in my opinion, good enough. We get Even Shroud and GS. I am pretty happy about that. And we're just going to go the Buckshot route. We will need anti-heal later on into the game. That is undoubtedly true. But let's put this on our strongest take now. If we had a remover problem, we could move it over to Tahm Kench, but that's not a big deal now. I'm going to try to teach you guys... Sorry, let's just put that onto you for now. You seem groovy to me. Let's make this a Giant Slayer, and that seems good to me. I'm going to try to teach you guys. This is called splitting the team. Basically, if they have a main tank in the middle, the team will like split open here, left, right, and then your Yi has an easier chance of wrapping overall. That's just something that happens if they have a solo main tank. There was a mech player, for example, the mech might 50-50 left or right, and then as a result with the mech player, you might be able to round the other side if you drag their solo main tank down to the right, for example here. And if they come to the left, I mean, whatever, they were always gonna be a problem for a Yi to cut through. Here I forgot about Divine Amendment, so we've been losing more gold, actually, than we thought. Yeah, we've been losing more gold. I don't expect this Brawler Yi comp to win, but I think our win con, when you're in a really good spot, I was in a really good spot, right? I 10 streak, but these people have way better emblems than me. I don't think anyone thinks Yi is like this end-all be-all comp. You need to cap out with 2-star 5 costs, and that one to me is Graves and Fiora in particular. So that's something that we're thinking about. With Graves, we're trying to scale up right now, and we'll eventually try to get over to Fiora sooner rather than later. We could also go straight to 10 and try to add Fiora, but I think we definitely want to hit Graves 2 at the very least. Dropping Nova would feel bad, but I think is probably fine. Is there any other Marauder I could drop? I guess it'd be you, right? We could drop you for Fiora. You're only 2 Primordium, which I think at this point is not a big deal. This Z2 is very scary with a Brawler Spat. That's actually very scary. We might not be able to win the lobby, so we played the game I would say not super great. Especially towards stage 4, we have not played the game super great, but that's what you get with winning the first 11 rounds. You don't need to have the strongest board of all time. In fact, my Yi is having the classic Yi problem of just getting stuck on frontline, right? The really good news is you don't need to always win all your games, but if you save all your HP now, you'll get a guaranteed, what am I? Probably a guaranteed like top 5 right now, at the very least. Like, let's say these both players were gonna win out. We'd still have a really, really good placement. So even if you don't get the best emblems on these emblem ensembles and whatnot, don't worry about it. It's really not a big deal here. I'm gonna use my free rolls here. Fiora should be in the planner for sure. I'm not gonna waste money on Maokai 3. I think I'm down to just roll here on Graves pair and Tom Kench pair. Hit Graves. That sounds really good. Do we want to do this? 5 Marauder, Prim. I'm kind of down. I think Urgot is probably better with these items, not gonna lie, over Fiora too. Just a judgment call. I feel like Fiora is just gonna randomly die to some stuff. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like she's gonna randomly die to some stuff. We probably want to be having our brawlers die a bit faster now that I think about it, so that we can get better climb the ladder value here. Is my Graves going to be pumping here, or is the Zeds going to be taking over? Maybe at some point my Zeds will go crazy with laser ballistic or something like that. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We are trying to scale. We can still hit Fiora too. I think going 9. I don't have any illusions of going 9. I'm looking for a better item. IE is totally acceptable. I'm just looking for something a little bit better. Something a little bit better here. We're just going to keep going buckshot here. TG seems actually pretty good. Sterix also seems good. My whole team kind of does something, so TG is quite attractive. But Sterix is also just generically really good. I think I'm going to go TG here. Okay, really quick. This was a lot stronger for a long time. Or this is a lot stronger now. Put all those on. TGU for now. Should probably check the TG, but no big deal. Yeah. So hopefully, again, we're scaling with our Graves. We've just been default one side. We could move around and position, but we've mostly just been talking and trying to figure out our board for the most part. Yeah, I think the main thing for me is we could level for Marauder, but I think our bigger spike is Fiora 2 right now. So if we get the free rerolls and stuff, I think that's totally fine, but we do need to find that Belveth unit back again, because she is the missing Marauder, I believe. So I don't even hate rolling here. I think there's pretty good argument that rolling doesn't do much here. If we want, we can move this TG over for one round. It's probably worth it. And in fact, I think I'm going to move over sides. This person has Fiora right now, so yeah, I'm going to move over sides really quick. And I think I will. I'm guaranteed to fight this person, and they are holding my Fioras, so I don't really want to enter on their Gnar just whacking me and then also stuck on their main tank. Let's go their weak side instead, if possible here. I think that sounds a lot better to go to their weak side, and then we can kill this Fiora a lot easier rather than starting on their main tank. And obviously this is going to be a lot better on a brawler than a Marauder. And now my E gets to wrap and gets to do some fun things. And hopefully the Rammus is the last to die. That would be absolute perfect positioning. And that appears to be what we got here. So perfect positioning from us. And now we have something to roll for with Fiora 2. So when people are contesting you or taking away your units, it is really annoying, but just know we can get it back later. That is something to consider, is how many are out and if it's worth rolling. We kind of were suspicious that we weren't hitting that many Fioras, and I'm still suspicious. And lo and behold, someone was holding a pretty random Fiora 2. The next thing for me here, I think we want to roll on 9, mostly just to find one Belveth, and we can also potentially find Fiora as well, but Belveth will be my cap here. We're just going to go 6-6, just go index straight into the traits. There were many other boards I could have played, like we could have played around that Jhin, all that stuff. The Jhin Kaisa to 9, we could have reforged. In fact, I don't know if I've had a reforger this whole time. Laser Ballistic sounds really good against the Zed player. I'm going to roll here, looking mainly for that Belveth unit like we talked about. And now I think it's reasonable to go 9. Here, we still don't have anti-heal, which is a big bummer. I'm just going to reforge this. Maybe it turns into something good. Hey, that's not even bad. Sterix seems like the best thing here to finish off my Urgot slash future Fiora item. So my Urgot's holding my Fiora 2 items. Again, I don't believe that my Fiora is going to do much later on in the game. So yeah. And I think with Zed, it's really just a question of, can I kill it fast enough? So we're going to need a lot more damage here. Urgot is AoE. I could make an argument that Urgot is actually a bit better than Fiora here. My Graves is doing a lot, but I don't know if it's enough at the end of the day. We'll see. Maybe we'll need something crazier, but I'm gonna hope that if I just level here, it should be fine. Hopefully we can beat Disneylander. I could level. I could roll for Fiora too. I think the 6 Marauder Spike is not bad. Also, it's 3 Primordian. This is already enough to level, as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully I can hit Fiora 2 in this small amount of gold. Nice. Fantastic. That's great. Maokai, you can go over here. I think I kind of want all my damage over on one side if possible. And we're gonna do it all again. I wonder if I should switch my items over. Brawler on Fiora actually might be good. Also, Eon might not be really that good on Brawler as well. Sterix and Edge of Night has kind of negative synergy. Did my Graves instantly die? I think my Graves instantly died. I don't even know to what. This fight does not look close. They have like the Giga Z setup, but hopefully my clone beats it and it's a solid second. Sometimes these people have like Giga win conditions, but we 11 streaks or 10 streaks or something like that, 13 streaks, and we get a save HP earlier in the game. If you don't know how high your cap is, it's totally fine. Like, I don't think I can beat that board. Sometimes people just make better boards. Don't feel bad about it. I think a lot of the times people feel bad about, oh, I should have won this game or this should have happened. It's just a team fight auto battler. At the end of the day, it's just a team fight auto battler. You guys should not worry about I should have won, I shouldn't have won. If you lost due to positioning, that makes sense. If you lost due to items, that makes sense. But like, this fight doesn't even look close, and it doesn't look close to being close either. Like, I could have made better decisions. I could have gone for, maybe my out was 3-star 4-cost E, right? If the person wasn't paying attention. But I'm sitting here just playing solid TFT. We leveled to 10. I have a really good board. My board wins probably 99% of lobbies. This person just has that upper 1% that does beat me. So don't feel bad about not winning those games. We did have a high roll game, but second is pretty good. You know, there was an Anima cash out person who went 7th, for example. They went 7th with a 500 cash. They probably feel like they should have won. But at the end of the day, it's just an auto battler. Don't feel too bad. It's not like you got outplayed or anything. You just need to think about the things that you can control, which are the items, the levels, the board positioning, all the things that we talk about in our videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please like and subscribe, and please leave any comment if you have any questions, concerns, or things that you want me to talk about in a future video. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.